Hey everybody, George here. I thought I'd show you around the table here that I've worked on that I'm sure many of you would recognize as being Medieval Madness. And I thought I'd let you start off here by seeing the new apron that I've added in. And the troll on the right side above the plunger is actually the same character that you see up on the back box. But let me show you the side blades here. This is the knight there that's got his arrow in his head, and the catapult, which is right next to the one that's used during the game. And kind of nice to have that support the game. And you can actually see some rocks hitting an object over there. And this side of it over here has the dragon on it. And that's Merlin the magician, and of course a troll there on this side. And I think I'll talk about the playfield here next. The original texture was really good resolution. I decided not to enhance the resolution of it at all. But although I did edit it somewhat, like the playfield originally was a photograph taken from the real playfield, and so they had a little area cut out in the center of this lane here for the catapult that was just raw wood, and so I decided to color that in and make it so it's not raw wood. And of course the castle, and those you see those red lights on the front of it. Those are were actually added by Francisco 666, but I figured out a way to make them display. And you might notice that there's been some lightning up here on the back wall, and it kind of puts a flash of light when the lightning strikes. And that was actually kind of a beefed up version of what Slam Tilt had added. He added a good sequence during the castle multi-ball that I did not alter very much. But he had this other sequence that I honestly didn't even notice until I was working in the script on the version of it for the multi-ball, and I happened to notice there was some other script in there that looked like it did something similar to the as the multi-ball script, and so I decided to look at it a little more, and there were these very brief flashes sometimes on the back wall here that you could see that weren't really all that noticeable. So I've enhanced it quite a bit by adding some features that you can pretty much only add by using the new version of BAM and all that new coding for it. And you might notice that during the lightning flash, there's a like you saw there, the whole castle is has a flash coordinated with the lightning, and it looks just like kind of like lighting it from actual lighting. But that was created using a spotlight, and that was something that was not available to Slam Tilt when he did it. And so and there's some other things that weren't available back to then as well, like the textures on the back wall, or I can just use some code to switch those out, whereas he had to build a separate wall for each texture and then turn the whole wall on and off. This castle torrent here shows the damsel, and she was in the original table. I couldn't find a new texture to replace her with because it was really dark, and I had to do a lot to brighten it up and make it look like a normal texture. You can see that. Let me see if I can get this to show here. There we go. This is the dragon, and you can see there I added some texture there. That's what we call a bump map, and so it makes it look like it's bumpy. That's really an illusion. It's not really that bumpy. And then this version of the Merlin the magician here is above his kicker there, and I kind of worked on that to improve it, the appearance of it. These little textures here on those targets. They're not actually drop targets, but they're stationary targets, and I created those textures from this version of Merlin, and which does not, as you can see, I edited out the finger that points to the book, and all these plastics were based on photographs of real plastics, and so they had holes in them all over the place where, you know, the bolts would hold the plastics onto the table. And like this one here of this knight showed his right arm, which appears on the left side of the texture, had a big hole in it, and I filled that in. Even the slingshot plastics had holes in them in the wrong places. There are some bolt covers that or nuts that are installed that kind of hide some of the bolts, but not all of them. And the back glass up here is just it was the original back glass was very poor resolution, and you could not read these little signs that are on here, like the property protected by the moat master, and you can see the monster down there in the moat. And over on this side, a lot of humor on this thing. It like they show this girl here floating around in the moat on her inner tube, which, you know, has not been invented yet. And the chef there, you can see, is dumping out his garbage, and you can see there's an anvil in there and some toilet paper. And this tower has a girl's hair flowing out the window. I think is reminiscent of Rapunzel, and they show a guy cutting her hair off. Just a lot of little things. I'm sure you could find more than that than what I've told you about there. Oh, there was up here is the they've got a kettle of something they call agonade, which I guess is supposed to cause agony, and you can see the knights down here are wearing the football jerseys. And one of them is named Sir Brian, and it's number 25. And I actually looked up who that was. It's an actual real player at one time, but I don't remember who it was anymore. But and up above here is a topper. I haven't ever built a topper before, but I added this one on there. I'm not sure how many people are going to actually see it other than those that wear a virtual reality headset. And then over here is a texture for the game room that Slam Tilt added, and it was not the best resolution, so I used that upscale program that is called Upscale, and it uses artificial intelligence. And let me show you the cabinet here. Like this. And I'll go through the lighting modes here. That's the dusk mode. And then this is the night mode. And the dark night mode. And you can see that not only the back box and playfield change the level of brightness, but also the whole cabinet changes the brightness level. A lot of coding went into all that, and there is this coin door where Francisco 666 added this light here for the coins, and it had one of those halos in it that would shine through the door, but I've set it up so it removed the glow, and so you don't see it now. Another thing that San Francisco 666 added is this little tower here that you see that goes with the catapult, and it shows you when you're playing anyway, it shows the modes that you've completed. And he originally had it set up with a white background, and it made it kind of difficult to identify what some of the objects are, so I changed this to red background, and that's very helpful, because it's, if you're playing the real table, you have to keep track of that in some way or another, which ones have been completed, so that you can proceed on to the next mode. So this will tell you what you've done. And kind of the same idea over here on the right side of the screen here. You'll see the Troll Bombs, the Joust, Champ, Catapult Master, and all that, which has been repeated up here on the back box. These will, when you have a number that appears there, you can hit Merlin's kicker right there, and it will start a multi-ball madness, multi-ball type mode. And so we've got I did add a bump map to the textures on the castle here. It's not real obvious, but you can see like just to the upper right of that skull there, you can see that rock there has a kind of a big 3D appearance, and some of the others in there kind of, it's not real obvious, but it's there. And I like to say that this table has surround sound feedback for all of you guys that have pinball cabinets. And it also uses the Fleep recordings, and in fact, whenever you play the table, and let me go ahead and start it up. You can see that they're actually Fleep actually recorded a number of different recordings for all the sounds, and what this program does is to randomly select one out of the many recordings, and so it kind of gives you a little bit of a different sound, very slightly. It's more of a subjective kind of thing, but it does work. It does help to improve everything. And so we'll just go ahead and do a little gameplay here. I will say that I have set up the bounce off the flippers to very low, and you can change that. Let me just go ahead and open up this tweaker that I will provide more details in the other video that I've recorded. But you can just press the special 1 key to turn that on, and then cycle through to the physics. And you can see there I've got a very low bounce selected there, and that's where I like to have it. But you can actually raise that up quite a lot. And you can select any of those, but I prefer the very low bounce myself. But just be aware that you can adjust that, because you might not be used to the way I do it, or I prefer it. And that's one of the effects that Slam Tilt added to his version of the table. I've kind of modified the color of the playfield when you hit the castle over there. And then, of course, I've lost it. I should mention here that Flug has modified this table before me, and he added some game modes here for this. I'm currently playing Slam's normal, but there are 2 other easier to play modes that he added, and so just so you know, that's available there. And we'll keep playing here. One thing I didn't mention earlier is I have a color DMD there. You can see that it's and on this table I figured out how to add a color background to the text, like you see now. That blue color is something that I've figured out how to add. And I just started Super Jets. And we go like that. And that's the ramp for the and then we can there's Merlin's Magic, and he gives you some options there that are randomly selected. Let me see if I can hit the castle here. Well, didn't work. That red texture is something that Slam Tilt added. And this is the castle blow up that Slam Tilt added. And I'll just end it here. I did fail to mention there that this ramp or here below the dragon on the right, was really problematic when I was working on it. But let me go ahead and see if I can hit that. You can see it work because it was really. I'm just going to do the manual control of the ball here and see if I can hit it. Well, that didn't get it. No, I missed it again. You can see there, it smoothly rolls around the ramps, and I did it without any assists to the ball that some of the players add if they have trouble. And that's it, everybody. I hope you really enjoy this table. I like to work on it quite a lot. All the tongue-in-cheek humor is something I kind of love. In fact, the King of Pain had a voice quote that I thought was really funny when I played it a few times. He says something to the effect that, "Not now, I'm on the throne." Which, I'm not sure if those of you that live in countries outside the United States would get it. But sometimes, Americans anyway, will sometimes jokingly call a toilet a throne. So, anyway. But, that's it. I'll see y'all. And I hope you enjoy it. Bye.